on to the last 100. I got 50 preheating in the toaster oven at 160 degrees. I go a little bit warmer with the clear gloss. And afterwards, got these coated, red and blue. I want to do red, white, and blue, but I think the clear gloss is cool to complement the lead. And white is actually the most difficult to do, so don't need that piece of paper. After I've coated, I get this Lee push-through die, and this screws into the reloading press, and then this into the shell holder base, and then this sits on top like that. And put the hopper together, and it's just simple as pushing them through one at a time to size them. My neighbor gave me this 470 mold, 4570 mold, and it's actually 457, but you know, after I've casted them and then coated, they come out to 458, 459. So you know, I want just enough sizing of the driving bands and loop groups to conform to the rifling. Let's get this preheated out. I use these little foil trays, and this one's so beat up. These lead hogs are a little tricky, so I usually use like small number 5 plastic containers from like salsa, or my girlfriend buys these this Parmesan cheese. And for the smaller grains, it works, but the bigger grains like these 45 Colt, I gotta just wrap the side walls of that plastic because the impact of that mass of that lead will crack through. But these little pitchers are number 5 plastic, and they work great, and they're easy to rinse out in between colors. I've got about a heaping tablespoon in there. There's a lot of surface area here. Wear a nitrile glove, and I've got a 400-degree silicone baking mat. That really helps like distribute the heat, and then for the smaller, skinnier ones, it helps it keep flat. This one doesn't have the ribs, but my other pan has got the ribs, so that really, I've got 3 layers on that one, and that really keeps it flat. Use parchment paper, don't use wax paper. I've tried directly on this, and it just, yeah, it'll stick to that. And yeah, parchment paper. And once I've used one color on one side, flip it over and use the other side. So yeah, I gotta hand tumble it for a minute. Probably speed this part up, but it's just gonna be doing this basically. Oh, those look good. That was a little less than a minute. I like a little bit of extra powder. I don't know. Yeah, we'll make it work. I was gonna use a flatter pan, but these big ones, it won't matter. And the extra powder, I'll just throw on there. Don't really matter. You just don't want to preheat them too hot, because they will, rub some on your fingers like that. It will clump up and then start baking on, and you do not want that. But also, humidity is a big factor. I give them a little twist in my fingers as I stack them, and that helps distribute the powder. This clear gloss, I think, is the strongest powder. It doesn't have any wasteful pigment in there. It's just pure polymer, whatnot. But do not let them touch. I mean, you can, like right as soon as they're done baking, throw them into a bucket of water and break them up, but I don't quench. After I powder coat, I let them air cool. That's the way I do things. I tried quenching them, and there's a little bald spot on top. I'll just give it a little tap. A little tap-roo. And if there's any like light spots on it, I'll just roll it around in some extra powder. But these ones are so easy to stack. I'm trying to fit 100 on this, so I gotta go a little bit close. But yeah, I'll speed this part up after this. Once you get to the second row, I do that, and then tilt it back on its end, slide it forward so you're not sliding the powder off the bottom. It really doesn't have to coat perfectly. It's gonna do its job even if it's a little spotty, but I like to make mine look really good, so especially if I'm sending out to somebody, which these are. So yeah, after I get close to finishing this, I'll throw these other 50 in the toaster oven and to preheat at 160 Fahrenheit for about 5 minutes. You know it's too hot if it's like too hot to hold your hand against it. Don't want to do it cold. But and then once I get finished, close to finishing stacking all of them, I've got 2 or 3 rows left to stack. I'll preheat the toaster oven to 400 degrees, and I will bake these at around 17 minutes. Clear is like a little bit less. I'll probably do like 16 minutes, but there's some powders that are a little bit cooler, like 375, and for like 12 minutes or 10 minutes. But that's just the one prismatic powder, Candy Gold. But I've only tried one kind of powder from Prismatic, and maybe I just picked a bad one, but I really like Eastwood powders. The Jet Black, Tractor Green, the Atomic Pink is pretty cool. I only bought the pink just because I wanted to finish a batch of crayons with the Twistables. You guys have probably seen it, but just loaded with some dummy rounds. And but this clear gloss and the blue and the red, candy teal, that's all from the Powder Coat store. And I think it's cheaper and it works just as well, if not better. But check out the candy teal. That is by far my favorite powder. It looks so good on brass, especially 10 millimeter and 7.62 by 3.9.